Okay, we are back on in the matter of Ramage versus Hoyt. Gentlemen, I understand that you've reached an agreement?
We have, Your Honor.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Koenig, do you wish to put the terms
I can
on the
certainly do
record?
that. Your Honor, counsel and I both listened closely to what the court had to advise us their thoughts were. And accordingly, we have reached an agreement wherein the case will be resolved in that Mr. Ramage will be able to move from New Jersey to Florida and take the minor child with him. That summer vacations will be increased from 4 weeks to 5.5 weeks. There'll be 2 calls per week, or at least an average of 2 calls a week that my client will be able to have with her son Ryan, and the parties will share 1/2 of the travel expenses between Florida and Michigan and Florida. My suggestion would be that the party getting the child would get the child, come pick up the child and take the child back. So we would get the child at the outset of a vacation period, and Mr. Ramage would come and take the child from Michigan back to Florida. That, as I understand, it's a complete agreement.
Mr. Corbin,
There was
can
one
you
more
confirm?
term, respectfully. The issue of the spring break timing.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead, counsel. Put that on the record. I apologize.
So we had discussed shifting the defendant's spring break parenting time 1 day backwards so that the parenting time does not conflict with my client's birthday.
I apologize, yeah.
Is that just 1 year that happens, or?
I believe every year it starts on his birthday. So we're just moving it, the entirety of that parenting time, by 1 day every year so that it doesn't conflict anymore.
That seems awfully strange because his birthday would be on a different day of the week every year. So that's not computing. I just want to make sure you guys understand.
To the extent that it impacts his birthday, we're certainly agreeable that Mr. Ramage would be able to keep his son on his birthday, and we would pick up 1 additional day to compensate for the week.
I think that's a reasonable iteration of the agreement there.
I can try to put that in an order, counsel, so it's understandable.
Sure thing.
Okay. Mr. Koenig, do you wish to question your client about the terms of the settlement?
If I may, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Shonda, you've participated somewhat in these negotiations, is that correct?
Yes.
Are you willing to accept the negotiations that we've been able to work out with everyone's cooperation?
Yes.
And so I have your approval to prepare an order to that effect.
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And Mr. Corbin, do you wish to question Mr. Ramage about the settlement?
Sure. Sean, you heard the terms of settlement that were placed on the record just now?
Yes, sir.
And you understand them?
Yes, sir.
And you were involved through counsel in negotiating those terms?
Yes, sir.
And you wish to enter into an agreement and be bound by a court order under those terms?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that we could have continued with the evidentiary hearing and received a verdict from the judge that might have been better for you, might have been worse for you, but you're choosing to enter into this settlement?
Yes, sir.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
What is Mr. Ramage's birthday? Just so I know.
April 3rd.
April 3rd, very good.
All right, thank you. Everyone have a good day.
Thanks,
Thank
Judge.
you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, Cody.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Turn that off.
on just a second. Hold on.
Hello, Judge.
Good morning.
Okay.
Did
Phil, I'm
you
gonna
snow-
hang up on you. Okay.
Did you get any snow last night?
Not last night. Thursday morning we had snow, but Saturday I was out cutting and splitting wood and I swallowed my first flies.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
You know,
they're
there's
bad.
only two, there's only two seasons in the UP.
Shoveling and swatting, according to Judge LaFlamme.
That's exactly right. I must have mentioned that before.
You warned me, but we're still loving it.
So did you get in some shoveling and swatting at the same time?
Well, I was splitting wood, so I was like it's kind of like shoveling because I do it by I don't have a wood splitter. I just use a maul. So I'm swinging a maul to split the wood.
Uh,
But
Do you want me on?
So, gentlemen, are you prepared to go on the record and place a settlement?
we're very close.
You're welcome to keep talking. I can mute you both and just check in on you. Actually, the best way is for me to put you into a breakout room, because when you come out of the breakout room, then I know you're done. How's that?
Judge, let me just say one thing. We're pretty close on everything. I think where we got a little bit of issue right now is going to be on personal property and small things like that, where we might use your influence to give the party some direction how we can resolve that today. Does that sound correct,
Okay.
Phil?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Because I think we got everything else major done. It's just the small things that we're trying to work out right now. And again, it may just take a little persuasion from the court to tell us to put a big boy pants on and divide it.
Fair enough. I'm opening that breakout room now.
Thank you,
Thank
Your
you,
Honor.
Judge. Oh,
The guy moved to Munising.
Oh. Whoa, that's really far off.
It is. And he lives way out in the sticks.
I wonder how he has internet.
His office is in right in Munising.
Oh, okay, so
Munising's got excellent internet.
really?
They've got a small, locally owned telephone company that installed fiber optic all over their service area. So
You
they've
would
got,
just think way out in the sticks that they wouldn't have.
they have far better internet than I've got. Although I just signed up for that new satellite internet that's coming around. I don't know if you've heard about it at all.
No.
I forget the name of it. It's now, no, Hughes is terrible. This is something that uses a bunch of satellites. And I'm trying to think of which big name tech guy is behind this.
It's not Elon Musk.
It might be.
I think it is.
Oh, is it? Really? He's in
You know what it's
I
called?
don't.
every game.
Anyway, there's a pretty steep upfront cost. It's like $600.
Whoa.
Okay.
And it'll be $99 a month once it kicks in.
Ooh, wow.
But
Crazy.
it's supposed to be
Wow.
ridiculously fast internet.
Huh.
So I'll be able to ditch my Hughes dish, which is terrible. I'll be able to ditch my Dish network because I'll be able to stream, use a streaming service, because I don't get the benefit out. The only benefit I get is I like the DVR. I like that I can set things to record and watch them at my leisure as opposed to be stuck on a TV schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And I watch so little.
Yeah.
I watch Mountain Men with a fair amount of frequency. And if I watch TV at all in a given evening, that's what I watch is an episode of Mountain Man. And I'm sure I can probably get that on a streaming service.
I would imagine so.
Do I have time to run to the restroom?
Oh yeah, they're going to be a little while.
Okay, I'll be right back. Oh, I guess I probably need my mask.
So it'll end up being cheaper. And plus I've got a Verizon wireless Wi-Fi account that I signed up for early in COVID when I was really frustrated with the poor quality of my internet. We used DSL with AT&T for a number of years, and it was adequate. It wasn't super fast, but it was adequate. But it's just gotten progressively worse and worse. So probably because too many people signed up for it, or just everything requires more and more data. They're constantly enhancing the stuff that's going over that. So
it probably wasn't intended initially for that.
it couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
yeah, fiber optic would be nice, but we don't have cable because it's not available where we live. We don't have natural gas because it's not available where we live. The houses are too far apart, and to justify, running the line. So we struggle.
Yeah.
The one that works the best is the Verizon wireless signal. When I'm streaming from home, that's what I'm using.
Verizon.
The satellite there's latency issues, which I assume have to do with bouncing signals off a satellite that's, tens of thousands of miles away, or however far away in the air those things are. But it's just, streaming is terrible with something like that. Plus, there's a cap. So even if I were using it, I'd blow through my cap the first day that I tried to stream over it. So
And they slow you down intentionally or cut you off.
yeah, that's what happens. They slow you down. So this stuff is supposed to be available mid to late 21. So
I had heard a little bit about that something was in the works.
Starlink, that's what it's called.
Starlink.
Starlink. Let me look that up. I think that's what it is.
We ditched Dish at my parents' house about 2 years ago and got YouTube TV. And that has the DVRing, and sometimes it just DVRs things that it knows we watch a lot.
Oh, really? Without even you telling it?
Yeah, you know, like your favorite team, it'll automatically save it, and you can still watch it live.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty nice. It's,
So you're living with your parents this summer?
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, Starlink is what it's called.
Oh,
So yep, I just signed up. What's it say?
Wi-Fi out at our place is pretty bad, so probably
Are you, where in Jackson are you?
important.
Fort. Okay. I know where Hanover is.
People just lump them together, but
I know.
yeah.
How long does it take you to get into here?
Today it took me about 25 minutes.
Okay.
So here's what it says about latency on the Starlink site. Latency is the time it takes to send data from one point to the next. When satellites are far from Earth, latency is high, resulting in poor performance for activities like video calls and online gaming. Starlink satellites are over 60 times closer to Earth than traditional satellites, resulting in lower latency and the ability to support services not possible with traditional satellite. So they got, it's in beta test right now in a number of areas. I signed up for the beta test, but I never heard from them.
You didn't get it.
I didn't make the cut. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the potential of having something. And so do you use Xfinity for the streaming?
We have Frontier, and for the last
You've
10
got,
years, it's been awful.
You-
Even getting like cellular service.
but Frontier put in a lot of fiber optic.
We found out about 2 weeks ago that the wires at the router, or not the router, but where it connects to the house and the property, were not all intact. So they fixed the wires, and then it was not centralized at the house. It was in between that and then the barn, or for whatever reason. So now it's just the house, and it's twice as good.
Where do you live?
Horton, pretty close, about half a mile north of high school,
Oh, okay.
real close to high school.
Off of which road?
Reynolds.
Off Reynolds, okay.
So we can only get AT&T out there for cell service.
I had AT&T, but it was poor. We ended up getting a micro tower, which they don't have anymore. But basically, it allows you to talk over the internet, and that's what we ended up doing with AT&T. Is we would do internet calling. Well, when I switched to the HughesNet, I also switched to Verizon. So the Verizon signal is just better. But if I tried to use internet calling with that stupid satellite, didn't work. So we get by just with a regular signal with Verizon now. Yeah, that'll be nice when that finally comes available.
John, Charles needs you to do something on the computer here.
All right, I'm gonna go sit at my desk. I'll keep an eye on the monitor to see if they show up.
Okay.
If they don't, I'm gonna bring them back in because I'm going to the Y, and I'm not gonna sit around and wait for them to finish their conversation.
I think you just have to something like that. County.
Tim, are you going to the live chat?
I'd like to leave about 1:45.
I know the second I go back over there and get involved in something, I'll probably come back.
I'll leave that up to you, but if you want to go back to your desk, go ahead. I'll just holler when I need you.
Yeah, or have Peter just call me, or
Okay.
I guess I will, so I can get some bond orders done and.
Well, I know how to dial the phone.
Sure.
I don't
give
need,
me a-
I don't
give
I
me
don't
a
need
ring
Peter
a
to do that.
Give me a ring a ding ding then, and I'll just buzz right back over.
Okay. Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you.
You got Peter's email address handy, Bill?
Let me see if I can get it. Pose. PS, wasn't it? No. Peter Van Camp, yes. You need it?
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, why don't you just shoot him an email, tell him we're ready to go on the record. And to put our clients in a waiting room.
So where are we at, gentlemen?
Just give it an email, Peter. Judge, I think what we've got here is a 95% agreement on the major items. We've got some issues with personal property and when to start parenting time. I think those are our biggest issues right now.
Anything I can help you with?
Yes.
Yeah. The parenting time